What is up, everybody? Welcome back again. We're talking a little Cowboys draft prospects today and potential moves that would be amazing for Dallas. Got a couple guys in mind. Kind of fun draft ideas, fun prospects that you guys let me know what you think. We just did the video about Caleb Williams being a potential bust and why the Bears should absolutely, regardless of what they think he is as a player, trade out of that pick to accumulate talent. But before we get into that, if you haven't checked that video about Caleb Williams, go check it out. A lot of good content there. If you don't believe what I say about Caleb Williams, listen to Merrill Hodge, who's been nailing quarterbacks for years. He completely agrees with everything that I'm saying for the most part. Now, on the other side, make sure you guys share, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we're making videos. And you guys can get notifications so you can hear the content and have smart things to say in front of your friends. Make yourself look smart. Steal these takes for yourself. Here we go. All right, let's get into it, guys. Cowboys draft prospects. Want to talk about a couple things here. Let's talk about the number one concern that we all have as Cowboys fans. What are they going to do at the running back position? Go get Derrick Henry. Go get Saquon Barkley. Go get one of these guys. If they want to do that, that's great. Derrick Henry, absolute game changer. Exactly what Dallas needs. I would love for them to go get Derrick Henry in free agency. I think that'd be a great move. Another great move, I think, would be Saquon Barkley. Now, I would prefer Saquon Barkley, and let me tell you why. Here's why. And the reason why is because of who they should draft. The Dallas Cowboys, if you want to solve your power running back issue, yes, Derrick Henry solves it 100%. But Derrick Henry is also somewhat expensive, and he's also getting older, and you don't know how much tread is left on the tires for Derrick Henry. Now, I'm going to throw a name out here. And I'm sure after watching the Combine, you guys are going to blow up in the comments and tell me that I'm crazy. I'm not. The Dallas Cowboys need to draft. The number one draft priority should be Audric Estime out of Notre Dame. If you don't know who he is, go look up his highlights. The kid was the best running back in college football last year. He was the best running back in college football. I believe he led the nation in yards per carry. He was at the top of almost every statistical category. Yards per carry, yards per game, touchdowns, all-purpose yards. The guy is fantastic. Now, this is where I'm sure after hearing the name, some of you who are just Combine watchers and have never seen the kid play are going to be blowing up my comments. He only ran a 4.740, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about the Combine. The Combine is something that gives you a little reassurance for what you see on tape. The guy came into the Combine at 221 pounds. The guy is the second coming of Zeke Elliott for Dallas. Because a lot of guys don't test well or they have a bad day running at the Combine. Audric Estime is not a 4.740 guy. Go back and look at his highlights. He has multiple 60, 70, 80-yard touchdowns at Notre Dame. The guy has hit his head on the goalpost speed. The guy has breakaway split defender speed. And he's done it over and over and over again at Notre Dame. Not to mention the fact that he shaved down for the Combine, and he might stay closer to this weight, but usually his playing weight's about 230 to 235. The guy is an absolute freight train to bring down. So, on the other side, as far as you guys saying, well, we need a power back, then why are you worried about the 40 time? He's a power back. If you're looking for a power back, why are you worried about the 40 time? But I'm telling you guys, he is a complete back. I am a Notre Dame fan. I have watched every carry of this guy's career. He is the best running back in the country. And him and Blake Corum has tested well at the combine, and his stock's kind of going up. But him and Corum coming into this draft was criminal. I have never seen two guys have the amount of production that these two guys had in college and be completely passed over and ignored and talked about his third and fourth round picks, and then talk about these other guys who just have average production or they're one-year wonders. I mean, they're talking about all these guys, and I'm like, who? Never even heard of this guy. Who are you? And then these two, who have led the nation for back-to-back years in rushing and yards per carry and all-purpose yards and touchdowns, are talked about like they're just these horrible, take a shot on him, don't know what they are type of backs. Like, if he's available, a guy like Estime, if he's in the fourth round, I don't know, fourth, fifth round, take a shot on him, see what he can do. Are you kidding me? Both of these guys should have been automatic, depending on what your teams needed, should have been automatic second-round picks. But the fact that this guy's going to slide in the draft, that's a huge benefit for Dallas. They don't have to waste a premium pick on him. Perfect. Let him slide to the second round, the third round. If you're Dallas, he's sitting there in the third round, you take him. He solves your power issues. The guy's a load to bring down. And like I said, watch the tape. This guy has great feet. He has great vision and great feet. He's always falling forward. He always finds, like we used to see with Zeke, always finds a way to fall forward early in his career. Always finds a way to get some type of positive yards or get back to the line of scrimmage. Never hit in the backfield early in his career. That's what you see with Audric Estime. And like I said, when you watch the tape, guys, yeah, he's a freight train. And he looks like a bodybuilder. His arms are as big as thighs. And yes, he is a power back who can bulldoze people, and he's a load to bring down. But he is shifty in the open field, and he makes guys miss. And he has the ability to get outside and break away from defenders and hit his head on the goalpost speed when he gets out in the open field. And we've seen this before. I truly believe he's one of those guys where in pads, he's faster compared to everybody else in pads because he's so strong and he's so physical. He's running at full speed with the pads on. The pads don't slow him down at all. So I believe he is faster on the field in comparison. He's not track fast. He's not combine fast. He's fast. He's game fast. He's adrenaline kicks in, ball under his arm fast. The guy's never tracked down from behind. Nobody ever catches this guy from behind. Watch his highlights. The guy is the best running back in this draft, and he's a tailor-made, perfect fit for Dallas. This is the ultimate perfect, nobody's talking about it, sleeper, great scouting move that Dallas is notorious for. Guys like this. He is the best running back in the country that is completely undervalued right now and is the total package. He has great hands. He's a great receiving back out of the backfield. He has great hands. He's great after catch. He's a good route runner. And he's a big physical guy that's tailor-made for what Dallas needs at this point. And he does have that ability to be a total, complete back. Get out in space, break long runs, and bring that physical element that Dallas needs. Absolute perfect fit. It's an absolute perfect fit. And because they should draft Estime, that's why I lean that they should go get Saquon Barkley instead of Derrick Henry, because Estime would be your Derrick Henry. He would be your young, youthful Derrick Henry power downhill back. Then Saquon Barkley becomes your lightning, your Tony Pollard replacement, your lightning, and you're back to Zeke and Pollard, thunder and lightning, except you'd have a way younger, way more productive Zeke than when Zeke was there with Pollard. It'd be real thunder and lightning with a total awesome, talented back in Estime and a really talented, complete back who's lightning in Saquon Barkley. It would be the perfect yin and yang for this football team. The perfect yin and yang. So, Estime, number one guy on my board for Dallas. Absolutely, they need to go get him and draft this kid. Now, and if you draft Estime, you don't even need a free agent back. You can bring Tony Pollard back and use him more in his role where he had success as Lightning. You don't even need Saquon Barkley. Tony Pollard's a phenomenal back, guys. And the offense, and regardless of what you guys want to say, the offensive line struggled this year. The offensive line had problems. So, with the offensive line having problems, you fix that with the power back, with the physicality, with Estime, and then you bring Tony Pollard back to his Lightning role where he's very, very, very successful. You can do that as well. That's another home run pairing. Pollard, Estime, Barkley, Estime. Home run either way. Now, the other fun idea, which is where I'm sure you guys are going to start to kill me. Bo Nix to Dallas. If you guys have watched any of my videos talking about what the Bears should do, going to get Bo Nix and not take Caleb Williams. If you watched any of my pre-draft coverage on what I thought about the quarterbacks, about college playoff time, go back and watch those videos. I talk about Bo Nix multiple times. You guys know I believe Bo Nix is the best quarterback in this draft. He is the most NFL ready. He's going to have the quickest transition success out of this draft class. Now, this is the reason why Bo Nix is a fun topic. Because Bo Nix, similar to Estime, is one of the most underrated players in this draft. I've heard recent mocks of Bo Nix sliding all the way into the second round. And this is why it's interesting. Dak Prescott is going to be your quarterback next year. Absolutely. Now, unless you're seeing something in Trey Lance, which even if you are, who cares? Collect talent. This is why it's interesting. After this year, you can move on from Dak Prescott. If you move on from Dak Prescott, you move the money around. You don't extend him, you move the money around. Lower his cap hit this year. Go get the Saquons. Go put this team together. Take, whoever you want in the first round. Who's, my theory is always best player available. Take your need, but it's best player available. Just like when CD fell to you, you didn't need CD, but he's the best player available. Best player available always is the best decision. It always works out. So, you get your first round pick, and if Bo Nix slides into the second round, and you're Dallas, and he's sitting there in the second round, you absolutely do what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts. You take him in the second round, and now him and Trey Lance are battling to see who's going to take over for Dak next year. Not this year, but next year. You absolutely take Bo Nix at that pick and see if him or Trey Lance can replace Dak Prescott. That would be the best thing the Cowboys could do. Everybody keeps saying how Dak is holding the Cowboys hostage. He's only holding the Cowboys hostage if they allow him to. If you go get talented quarterbacks like Bo Nix, he's no longer holding you hostage. You have options to move on. And that is the thing with Bo Nix, where for me, I'm saying this, and I think that would be a realistic scenario in which Dallas might do it if he was available in the second round. For me, if I'm Dallas, if he's available late in the first round, if he's sitting at my pick in the first round, I'm taking him. I would take him in the first round and sit him behind Dak and say, here we go. Game on. Because you can always trade Bo Nix. He's always going to be worth value. You can always trade him and probably get a first-round pick back for him by a quarterback desperate, needy team. If Dak somehow works out and you decide we're going to stick with Dak. But if you decide you want to move on from Dak, you have your Jordan Love in the wings waiting. And I don't, just like the Packers, they didn't care if it pissed off Rodgers. They said, we like this kid, we're going to take him because we know we're going to move on at some point. And if you're Dallas and you're thinking you might want to move on at some point, go take this kid. If people are going to be stupid enough, if these teams that need quarterbacks, like the Bears, Washington, the Patriots, all these guys are going to be stupid enough to take the Drake May bus, the Caleb Williams potential bus, the Jaden Daniels of the world over this kid, and they let him slide, and all these teams like Denver where the Jaden Daniels and these top guys are going to be gone, and they're not going to take a guy like Bo Nix and say, we'll wait, we'll take him in the second round. If those teams are going to do that, you absolutely take this guy. There's only 3 quarterbacks that are worth looking at in the first round of this draft. And it's Jaden Daniels with his athletic ability and his ability to play from the pocket. Jaden Daniels, Micheal Pennix Jr., and Bo Nix are the only guys worth taking in the first round of this draft. And if quarterback-needy teams like Vegas and Denver and Washington and the Bears and the Patriots, if they're all going to pass on them, don't be dumb. If they let a franchise quarterback slide down to the 20-something pick for Dallas, 26, I think they have, you absolutely take them. You 100% take him. If it pisses Dak off, too bad. Absolutely too bad. Because I'm tired of this. Well, you don't want to piss him off, this and that. I'm tired of this. This is a business. Football is a business. And as a business, my job is to ensure that I can build the best team possible. And if Bo Nix is the best player on the board available at 26, I'm taking Bo Nix. And if you're Dak and you're threatened by a rookie quarterback after being in the league for going on 9 years, you're worried about a rookie quarterback coming in and stealing your job, then you don't have the mental toughness to be my quarterback in the first place. You think Tom Brady was ever threatened by quarterbacks? No. Matt Castle comes in. Hey, it looks pretty good, huh? He's never threatened Matt Castle was going to take his job. He's never threatened Jimmy Garoppolo was going to take his job on a performance standpoint. Come on. Now, if Dak's threatened by Bo Nix, what does that mean? The only reason he'd be threatened is if Bo Nix came into camp and Dak thought that he looked just as good as him or better than him. Then he's threatened. Oh, fuck, this kid looks just as good as me and he's cheaper than me. Oof. I might be on my way out the door here. If you come in and you're like, I'm way better than this kid, why would he be threatened? If you're Dallas, stop allowing him to have all the leverage. Make a decision to take control again. Take control. Stop allowing him to have all the leverage. And Trey Lance and Bo Nix are both tradable pieces to get value back if neither one of them work. They're both tradable pieces. Now, one other scenario here. Like I said, I love Micheal Pennix Jr. I think he has the most arm talent in this draft. If I'm Dallas, Micheal Pennix Jr. 100% is probably going to slide into the second round. He might slide into the third round, people are talking about, because of the medical. I've heard Micheal Pennix Jr. might go undrafted. He is by far the second best quarterback in this draft. And the medical is concerning for me. I'm not trying to poo-poo that. But he is by far, talent-wise, the second best quarterback in this draft. And it's not particularly close. Bo Nix, him, and everybody else. And if he slides all the way into the second round, the third round, the fourth round, especially if he's sitting there somewhere between the fourth and the seventh round, you absolutely take Micheal Pennix if you're Dallas. You let him sit for a year, he's healthy, he learns behind Dak, and you got a guy with Mahomes-esque arm talent sitting on the bench. Now, Mahomes has a bigger arm, but I'm talking about all the different arm angles, off-platform throws, like I've talked about in other videos. I see guys, you make one throw and you go, that's too good. That guy's too accurate, he's too good to fail. I've seen that with Micheal Pennix. One, he doesn't miss layups. He really has nice anticipation on throws. He takes what the defense gives him. He never misses layups. And I watched him versus Bo Nix, Oregon versus Washington, earlier last year at Washington. It's raining, it's cold, there's like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and he's under pressure, rusher in his face, off his back foot, kind of sidearm off his back foot, throws it around the defender, slings it, and it's like a 40-yard ball dropped right in the bucket on the back pylon for a touchdown. And I'm like, that's too good. A guy who can make that throw, it's impossible for him to fail. And he doesn't have the problem like Caleb, reading coverages and doing those things. So I'm like, if he can read coverage and be that accurate and make those throws under pressure, holy crap. The guy's going to be fantastic. The injury, the medical is the only concern with Micheal Pennix. And if he's sitting there, just like Jalen Smith, when you draft Jalen Smith, you absolutely take medical chances on guys like that late in those rounds. Absolutely. And if you're Dallas, stop letting Dak have the control. Take control back and draft Bo Nix or Micheal Pennix if they're sitting there available for you. Take control back. Turn the screws, turn the heat up, and let's get ready to move on and stop running this back year after year after year with a guy who's just pretty good. He's just pretty good. He's never going to get you over the top. So let's go find somebody who's not pretty good, who's great, and can win playoff games and can move this franchise forward and be the reason they win games, not the reason they lose games. Number one priorities for Dallas. Audric Estime, one guy they have to draft in this draft. Second, you need to get a quarterback. If Bo Nix and Micheal Pennix, fun conversation. If they're there, you absolutely take them for Dallas, and you put pressure on Dak, and you give yourself leverage to be successful. Third, they need linebackers. Get some linebackers in here, whether you draft linebackers or free agency. Demarion Overshown is a light in the box hybrid type of guy. He's only a few pounds heavier than Marquise Bell. He's not some big physical thumping linebacker. Leighton Vander Esch has too many medical issues. I think he's a good player, but the medical's holding you back. Go get a linebacker in free agency. Go draft some big physical linebackers. And if you can do that, if you're Dallas, that's an absolute home run. Best running back in the draft, Audric Estime. Go get him as a steal in the late rounds. He's a perfect fit in Dallas. If a quarterback's sitting there, get control of the Dak situation back and go get a quarterback who's more talented than him anyway in Bo Nix or Micheal Pennix. And go get yourself a physical run-stopping linebacker via the draft and free agency. That's the keys for Dallas next year. That's my take on Dallas coming into this draft. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Who do you guys want to see Dak take? Who do you guys want to see Dallas take in this year's draft? What do you think the Cowboys should do? Let me know. And as always, guys, tell us what you want us to make a video about. You never know. Your next comment may be our next Barstool Parlay. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can take this info and look smart in front of your friends. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, raw takes, no apologies. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, guys, peace out. See ya.